I'm Julie Vicanumera. I admin and set up the Facebook group AAC Users and Allies Ireland. I'm passionate about AAC and the massively positive impact it can have on non-speaking people's lives. I'm going to say a few words about the group, why I set it up. I'll define AAC and we'll say where you can find further information on it, and then I'll briefly outline the situation in Ireland as I see it, and we'll conclude with what I think should happen. Straight off the bat, I would like to say that I'm not neurodivergent, nor do I purport to speak for non-speaking people, nor would I want to speak over them. I come at this as a parent to two autistic kids who are learning to use AAC. They're 8 and 5. Both use mouth words from time to time. They use the LAMP app on the iPad. My eldest once described hers as a magnificent voice machine, which I just think says it all. So, I'd love everyone to join AAC Users and Allies Ireland. I would particularly like AAC users, part and full-time, to join and to contribute. We have some very valued AAC users as members, but the group is currently heavier on the Allies side. I set it up in November last year as a place for users and their allies, parents, family members, professionals, etc. to discuss AAC in an Irish context. My eldest had been using AAC for over a year at that point, and I was finding it very difficult to find out any information on who else was using AAC, where or why. So, what is AAC? AAC is short for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. We all use some unaided AAC like facial expressions, body language, gestures, and then of course there's sign language. Aided AAC can be low-tech, like symbols boards or choice boards, and high-tech, like speech generation devices, AAC apps on mobile devices. I suppose the most famous AAC user is Stephen Hawking. This image is from a recent post by Kit Aughty on their Facebook page, which outlines free, high and low tech AAC options. So absolutely check that out. I will say that AAC is not just for non-speaking people. There are many part-time users who use AAC from time to time, and that's absolutely valid. So if you consider if you sent a text rather than made a phone call, in a sense, that's using AAC. So just very briefly, here are some Facebook groups. The first one here asks me, I'm an AAC user, 24-hour rule is absolutely amazing. It is the real go-to place for information on AAC because it's from AAC users themselves, and there's a couple more here, and of course a plug for AAC Users and Allies Ireland. Also, here's a list of AAC social media and blogs. Ido Kadar, Nico Boskovic, Carly Fleischman, and there's so many. Actually, there's an exhaustive list on neuroclastic.com if you want to check that out. Recently saw this amazing film, The Reason I Jump, and it features some AAC users using letterboards, and it's really fantastic. Similarly, if you Google this, listen, it's by Communication First, a short film made by and with non-speaking autistic people in response to Sia's film Music. So, going back to why I originally set up AAC Users and Allies Ireland, I was very excited about AAC and its potential for my kids. I wanted a place to share information and, for want of a better phrase, that journey. But primarily, I set it up because I needed to find out the information for a particular reason. That is, that I was working on having AAC translated into Irish. Both of my AAC using kids will be attending Gaelscoileanna from September. I'm working on this with my friend Saoirse Tilton, an AAC using American woman who does incredible work, among other things, adminning the Facebook group Ask Me, I'm an AAC user, 24-hour rule. Saoirse is learning Irish herself and speaks about this in her recent presentation on AAC in the cloud, which you should check out. Saoirse and I are working with the linguistics department in Trinity towards having an AAC Oscoig version. This is one that I translated myself for my daughter to use in school, but it really needs to be done properly. So the translation is very important to me because my children deserve to have access to their native language and to the entire school curriculum. All non-speaking people do. It may seem frivolous when non-speaking people face such enormous challenges, but to me it speaks to always presuming competence. Non-speaking people are probably the most marginalised in our society. They are vastly underestimated. They are criminally undereducated, in my view. The general public equate non-speaking with non-thinking. Many are written off, are institutionalised, and otherwise denied their human rights. Needless to say, non-speaking people are extremely vulnerable to abuse. It's beyond tragic, but technology is making a difference in many people's lives. Ireland is very much lagging behind, however. We need to do something about this as a community. We need to move away from the ableist idea that only mouth words have value. AAC should be introduced from toddlerhood. AAC shouldn't be seen as a last resort. We need speech therapists to be trained in AAC and robust AAC options being offered. I absolutely do not mean PECS, which is based on ABA and incredibly limited. I would love to see a national library for AAC devices so that people can trial them. Access to AAC is prohibitively expensive for most people. AAC needs to be brought into the mainstream society. Evelyn at Finding Charlie's Voice has done great work fundraising for communication boards in playgrounds and in schools, but there needs to be access to AAC in all classrooms, including mainstream, in medical settings and in public services, including transport. Training needs to be provided for all staff in all of these settings. It is appalling that technology exists that can facilitate communication for non-speaking people, but it just isn't being utilised. Ultimately, there needs to be a dedicated body whose aim is to support and advance the rights of non-speakers and those with speech-related disabilities. Non-speaking people and those with speech-related disabilities would lead it. It would increase knowledge, awareness and acceptance of AAC users in mainstream society. The organisation would advocate and lobby for policy and legislative reform to improve access to AAC and ensure communication rights. Organisations like this exist throughout the world, like Communication First in America and Communications Matters in UK, for example. We desperately need something like this in Ireland. Let's set one up. Thank you.